Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome back to Sage Collector Car Services. Wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on what I'm seeing here in the shop, what the current situation is. Half a Romeo remains suspended in animation. So remains, in suspended animation? Okay, take two. Hey, half a Romeo remains suspended. It's on suspension. 1957 oval window bug came in a couple days ago for a full restoration, paint, body, interior, and the pan's going to get all redone. And there'll be new parts throughout. The pan on this bug I really wanted to focus on for a second in this video. Underneath, the pan looks absolutely amazing, and for a 1957 having never been restored, this is truly impressive. The pans are very, very solid. There's some originality into these pieces. Is really neat to see. It's neat to see the way that it's somehow made it through all these years. However, it gets a little thin back here. There's obviously dents and distortion in the pan, places where it's been dented and smacked up, and did discover a bit of some rusty anomalies here. So this will all need to be figured out. And I'm gonna have Ruben come over tomorrow. We'll take a look at the pan together and see, kind of plot our course forward with that. It already does have a freeway flyer transmission. It's got disc brakes in the front, drop spindles, improved brakes, for sure over stock. Yeah, rebuilt 1600cc single port motor, which scoots on down the road just fine for this car. He is repeatedly angling and asking me about my 1776 with dual Webers, but that is a conversation for another time. The XK150 is waiting for some transmission parts from S&G Barrett, and there's more metal work to do on this one. This one's waiting to go to sandblasting over at Precision Classics, and engine bay and the whole entire cabin are going to get sandblasted, and I think that's going to be important to get the truck ready for more metal repair. Obviously, I've done some stuff in here, but lots more remains. And people have said, well, can't you just buy floors? And there's nothing available for these trucks. So I'm making the pieces that I can as I go step by step through this thing and put in place stuff that I want to build and how to make the truck more solid. One thing I would say about projects like this is you can work yourself in circles around a project like this. You can do your best work a year ago, and then as you learn and develop your skills, you can come back and say, I don't actually like the way this turned out. I'm going to redo this part. I've been advised and counseled by some friends and mentors in the business that can happen every year. If you keep a car long enough, you can work circles into it, and that's not cool, because you eventually want something done. And so at this point, this truck's been taken way, way, way farther apart than I had thought it would be. I saved this thing out of the forest, and at the time, this rebuilt engine was sitting in it, and that's a comfortable place for it to have been. The uncomfortable part is discovering all the holes that have been welded up and how much this needs to be cleaned up and bettered, and then discovering how much worse the truck was in some ways than you might have thought that it was. And this is pretty common for these Land Cruisers. It's not like this is, oh, it's so rusty. It's really not. Comparatively speaking, I did have some rockers. I put the rockers on it, pulled a bunch of metal around, did a bunch of metal work, and made it better. I've definitely turned a corner with the truck. It's certainly improved, and getting it all sandblasted is going to be one way to pretty quickly wipe this slate clean and find out what metal needs to be done, and then get after it and then get it done. There is a bit more metal work on the Jaguar that needs to be done. Here at the back where the roll bar penetrates this rear pan, that's all going to need to be sealed up and cleaned up. These pieces are done enough, and they will be certainly structurally sound. Keep the car separate. This will be wooden floors, original, and they will be put back in. Transmission tunnel will be altered a little bit, where the transmission has to, shifter will be in a different place due to the fact that it's got a more modern 4.2 instead of the 3.4. And the motor mounts will have to get moved, and rear member stuff moved as well. So this one's just kind of in a holding pattern for a minute until we get some transmission parts from S&G Barrett. This one, got it on pause for a minute. I'm working on some of these removable parts so that this can kind of rest while I'm taking these pieces off and doing some adjustments on the metal, welding up some holes, and then checking fitment and everything, and then the doors as well, getting everything to where it operates nicely and the gaps are good and it fits like it should. A side note to anybody who's never used an induction heater to get bolts loose, this thing is a whiz bang, man. This thing is a gem. You plug this thing in, the fan comes on immediately, and then you hold the button down and it actually introduces current through both of these small holes. And the variety of these fittings are available to go into those openings, and you can adjust whatever attachment you need for whatever size bolt you're trying to warm. And as soon as the temperature gets, electricity gets sliding through here, temperature gets built up, and the bolt starts glowing almost immediately. And sometimes it'll put off little snaps and little pops, little sparks will come off of it. As the rust binding is broken around those threads, man, you can come back and quench it with some coolant, or you can just hit it with some lubricant, or you can blow it with air, or you can just leave it super hot and get your fastener device on there, a socket or a wrench or whatever, and that sucker will start moving. This thing is genius level. To anybody who hasn't experienced something like this, man, 10 out of 10, I would recommend. This was a gift to Sage Collector Car Services from the owner of this truck. I think in knowing that this was going to be necessary, he knows Oregon well enough to know that, yeah, Ken was like, look, just have this, you're going to need it. So now back to the bug real quick. Amazing rig, incredibly solid. The condition of some of these stanchions, these have never been smacked, never been pushed in, never been run around, never been repaired, never had rust stuff done underneath here. Remarkable condition. The rear apron, I mean, all of this is incredibly straight. This has been filled as per, cow look requirements, right? You would expect that in a cow look bug, you wouldn't have the little cutouts for the little pea shooters because they would have wanted to smooth that. Other than that, there's not a lot of modifications have been done to this car at all. It's body-wise, I love this door panel look. I really do. It's certainly not in keeping with what the owner is going to be doing next, but I like that it's out of the ordinary, and I like the vibe that it carries. Underneath here, though, so often in the heater channels of any bug, any Volkswagen, but particularly these early Type 1s, man, they're just blown out. I mean, I had a 54, and this was it was a cancerous mess. And this is incredible. To see all the original paint still in here, to see the lack of cancerous, there's no holes. There's a little bit of a distortion on each side where the jack mount would have been here, so that the factory jack fits in the little square that goes here. But I am super impressed with how clean all of this is underneath here. And so off we go. There's hours of work still ahead. This has been someone, just wish that they hadn't, but somebody chopped this sucker out of here to put in the one-piece windows. And that's fine. That's super cow look. That's what I would expect from a car with this personality. But it is disappointing that they went to that length and then didn't correct any of that. Can't always fix everything, but I think I'm going to have that discussion with the client and see if he doesn't want to stiffen up the door a little bit with that piece. Even if it had holes and it were able to be removed, it could at least keep the door, you know, from being entirely unstable. And then moving to the front, the bulkhead here, all of this stuff, this body's going to get sandblasted, so we'll see what we see. But there's not a lot of rust through. There's not a lot of cancer showing down here. It has been punched in the face just a little bit here. But again, in all my years of owning almost 70 Volkswagens, I've not seen an original front apron on an oval window that looked even this nice. So this is a real treat to be working on this car. And I wanted to share it with you guys. I wanted to have you kind of see what I'm seeing here at the shop. And a little further tour, the original front fenders, all the fenders match. This was an original tan car, and they all have tan showing through underneath the paint. The hood the same way, but they've all been, you know, properly 90s style, 80s and 90s style de-chromed. So this has been on here since before Ruben bought this car. He's had it for 42 years or something like that. And the deck lid is the same exact condition, really. Tan interior, original tan W deck lid. Pretty special to see it in such a great condition. And even the hood on the inside of the hinge mounts here and here, there's no stress cracks, there's no big fractures. Couple things needful on the body. This little bit of a stress fracture here is not uncommon in these rigs, but you couldn't have seen it, you know, when it was all put together. You couldn't see it. It was all, you know, hidden behind the beading. But funny little other interesting tip. These fender weltings, they have a fabric mesh texture to them. And they seem, I'm not sure if they're original or if they're just older. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know if this is the original style. I know that these have been redone. I know that this is the new style where it's just a rubber extruded piece of rubber. But these older ones have, like I said, quite a bit of a pattern in the fabric with a corded insert there in the wrapped piece of welting. I think that these might be original, or at least original style. This project is really exciting for me. I'm jazzed that it's here at the shop. I'm stoked that you guys are along for the ride. Thank you for the thoughts and comments. I appreciate all the text messages, but like you can see, I got a lot going on, and happy to share it with you. Wishing you always all a great Sunday.